Here we are and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to tackle down the HackTheBox machine Fuse, which has retired yesterday. It is Windows box, Windows Active Directory box. It's a great box, but it is not that difficult. I would rank it as medium in terms of difficulty. Okay, so the Nmap scan shows that we have many open ports, and these open ports indicate that we are dealing with an Active Directory. Why? Since we have 88 for Kerberos, and we have LDAP protocol open, and we go down here, we have also LDAP, and we have 80. We have a web server running on the machine, and 53, right? So we have many things to enumerate, especially that we used to enumerate Kerberos and LDAP for possible plain text credentials and leaked information, right? So we would like first to start with the Kerberos, but before starting with Kerberos, we need a valid username list to check, right? So before Kerberos, I'm going to start enumerating LDAP. Okay, so how do we do that? We just type, we need to, let me get my manual here. Okay, so RPC. Okay, so we're going to now RPC client, connect to it, and display the info. But I think also we need a username and valid credentials for that. That's why to interact with RPC or LDAP and Kerberos, we need some credentials, we need some usernames to check out. So basically, I'm going to start with HTTP first to get the usernames. So we launch the browser. And here, as always, let's add the, okay, sudo let's add the host file. 193, and the name is Fuse. Okay, let me make sure the IP is correct. It is 193, right? So, and we go back here. Fuse.http. So here it redirects us to a subdomain or to, subdomain fuse.fabriccorp.local. So we're going to need to go back and add that as well. Oh, the local, right. So we still get error here. Use Fabric Corp. It is the P, I guess. Right. So now we see that it seems to be like a web page for printing services, papercut, print logger, right? So it logs the printing activity, I guess. Is a free print logging program. Live print logs are listed below, and additional CVXL logs are available. The software will only track printers locally attached to the system. What do you mean by that? Let's examine what kind of logs the web page or the software is logging. So if you click on that or view here, we have CSV file. Let's view here. user, and we have users here, right? So the users that have performed the printing, their computer name, I guess, and the document. Click on that as well. And we have also user. Click on that. Administrator and be halt. So basically, these users perform printing, right? And this machine or this web page logs their activity, including the username from which they have printed. So I guess this username has to do with the computer, right? Or it is registered on the printer. In case it is a cooperative environment, this software is connected somehow to the printer, and the printer performs the printing on behalf of the user. Like for example, a user is printing a page, and the printer sends the logs to this web page or program or whatever portal you want to call it. Here it logs the document name that has been printed and the username, which is most probably it is the username of the computer, the user, right? That is used to log into their computer. And this is their computer name. So pretty valuable information just because there is no authentication mechanism to log into this page. Normally, when you have these info, right, you need a login. The user needs to log in, authenticate, right, so that unauthenticated users can't log in like us and read this info. So basically, what we're gonna do now, we have our usernames. So here sudo nano users fuse. Let's copy them one by one. C level. Let's go back. Here we have one, I remember. And default and administrator. Let's see the documents. So this this outlines the same stuff we have seen actually, but in an Excel format. Okay, I think I don't need to download these documents. Right. So let's close that. And now we are done with this page. Let's see if we have other things to do about. And we would try to find, let me go back. Let's look for the version of this. So the version is not clear. We would try to look for an exploit. Search exploit print cut. Paper cut. What about this? Flex paper, wallpaper. Nope. Maybe because it's not so common, right? Print logger. What about print logger? Print log, preview logger, SQL injection, not for this. Right. So there is nothing to do here with search exploit. Okay. Now we have a list of usernames. Now let's try kuberoot to find other valid usernames and have a list of full usernames of possible users on the system. So what we're going to do now, we're going to launch kuberoot for this purpose. So here, let's, where is it? Okay, we have it here. So we type user, enum, since we are enumerating for users, -d, the name of the domain controller or the DNS name, which is fabric core local. fabric for local, and then dash dash dc the IP 10 10 10 193 and usernames list. Oh, yeah. So these are the valid usernames, right? So we have already gathered these usernames, and it seems that there are no other usernames or active users on the Active Directory or the domain controller. Now the next step, let's see if we can gather some hashes, right? How to gather the hashes for these users? We're going to look for a user that has the ticket or has a pre-authentication disabled, right? So we can grab their ticket, granting ticket, crack it offline, and have their password. So we're going to use for that, we're going to go to Impacket, see the examples, and we're going to use get np users. So sudo python 3 py-dc -dc-ip, output the IP 10 10 10 193, and then we put the name of the domain controller, fabric for local. Right, and here the username file or the path to the username's file, which is home, the full path, users, and right. So here we have to put so here dash user file. Let's see. So here unrecognized arguments, users file, not user file. So we will have to put s. Right. So this is something good in terms of when security when it comes to security, right? None of these users have the required pre-auth right disabled. So all of them require the authentication when negotiating with a Kubernetes server. That is good. So, but bad for us, right? We don't have any password to test for now. So now we got the list of usernames. What we can try now, let's go back to Nmap scan. So we are done with this one. Let's see LDAP here, but also we need a password for this. But actually, in order to communicate with LDAP, we need a password for a valid user. And right now we don't have passwords. So basically, the only solution to get out of this problem now is to generate a word list. So the only way now to go further with this, actually now we don't have passwords and we can't interact with LDAP to find more information since we don't have a valid password for a valid user. And nothing came out when we enumerated Kerberos, so the only way to get out of this is to generate a word list. Now, we don't have time to use rocky.txt all the time, every time, right? Sometimes you don't have the time. So basically, we want to generate a word list that is closely related to the case we are dealing with. So basically, to do that, we have to generate the word list from the actual company portal here. So we're going to grab the URL and use a tool called Seal to generate that word list. Generating a word list that is closely related to your target bears a high chance of success. So we grab this and we go here. I'm here actually. Okay. So we cd out of this, cd out of that. Right, sudo seal -t, the minimum, let's put it, not the minimum actually, the number of digits, 5, and -m for the minimum characters, -w, the word list that will be generated will be pass fuse. Oh.txt. Okay. And then we put the URL. And to account for numbers, I'm going to use dash dash with dash number. All right, so nano pass. So we have the list of passwords here. So all we have to do now is to try them out, right? So to try these passwords, we can try them using Kerberos, the brute force for the valid users, or we can try them with SMP brute, right? So what we're going to do now, we're going to use Kerberos.py. So we go back here and we use, yep. So this one, I guess this one won't work. I will use the actual tool, Kerberos.py. So I'm going to use this one. Here, brute. So I have it. I need to set this up. Let me go back, see if there are any instructions for this. Okay. Okay. Clear. And now sudo python 3 here py, and then we specify a couple of options: dash domain, factory corp, dot local, dash users, home, and then we specify the passwords. And the output file. So we're going to specify here dash output by equal to home valid pass. Let's see. Now this file will contain the valid credentials that we can use to log in with either WinRM or with or to use them to interact with the LDAP using RPC client. And let's launch another way here to save time. Let's launch MSF console. Let me fix this. It all the time pops up. cd gen clean up. Okay. MSF console pops up again. Seems like we have something here. No passwords were discovered. Fine. Let's try MSF console and use SMB brute. So here's search type auxiliary name SMB. Okay, so we'll use the SMB login scanner to check out the validity of the user list the user and password list we have. So take this and use it. So options. Oh my god. So here, what do we need out of these options? We need the our hosts required and the pass file and the user file, SMB domain not required, SMB pass not required. Okay, set. Let's set the pass file, which is pass fuse. Set user file, user pass, no, user file, which is here. Users and set our hosts to be fuse.http or the IP, doesn't matter. And run. You see, when you lack an authentication in one side of your network infrastructure, like this one, there wasn't any kind of authentication to log in here. We got a username list, and now we have multiple options to wreak havoc the box. Okay, I'm gonna leave this like that, and I'm gonna hop back to use the right password. I'm just running this to show you the procedure, right? But I have done this before I record the video, so I'm gonna hop back to use the right passwords. So basically here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use SMB client to lock the users out and change their password. So we have a tool called SMP passwd. Okay, so we have this. Right, so now like that, and we put -u. The username was something like, we have something here? No? Okay. So the right one was, let me go back to the user list. So I have one here, success, as you can see. T level, yeah, this is the one actually, T level. So here, okay, -l fuse.http -ut level, right. So this one is our, okay, so now I put the old password, right? The old password, we can find it here, but right now it's doing the work. So I'm gonna paste the password from my clipboard. This is the old password. Now the new password, let me go back to my, and this is the, or leave it here, no problem. So here, the old password for T level, right? Now the new password could be something like that. I put here 2 instead, T level. The new password is this, retype. Password change for user T level. Okay. Right, so it worked now. Fine. Now what we can do here, we can do query this info. So as you can see, we have some accounts revealed. So we have this account, which wasn't in our word list, and we have this one, we have this one, SVC print, SVC scan, many users that weren't revealed actually in the corporate scanning. Okay, let's now type, let's enumerate more for users actually. We can type enum users. So administrative guests, the Kerberos, SPC print, Nielsen, Thompson, T-level. Okay. Since we are dealing with, let's enumerate the privileges. C load driver, which is the one that we'll take advantage with here. We have also, okay. Now we've got to enumerate the printers, since we are dealing with a printing service. Enum printers. And the printer is this one. As you can see here, we have a password. We have a password for a user. Actually, not clear here, the user, but this password most probably belongs to the SVC print, right? Or SVC scan, but most probably it belongs to SVC print. So why not now take this password here, and in a separate instance or a view here, exit this. I'm gonna clear. Okay, sudo evil winrm, and now we type the all of the details we have. So -u, the user svc print, -p, the password we have harvested, and -ifuse.htp. Fine. So this is our first limited access to the Windows Active Directory with the user svc print. So the first thing we do, since this seems to be an account, a low privileged account, so let's find out the privileges. Right. So we have here C machine account, load driver privilege, right? When you see load driver privilege, it means that the user can load malicious drivers, right? So we can try this out, and we can copy that and find the reference page. Privilege escalation. Yes, this one. The actual page is this one in HackTheBox, or there was a page that talked details about the vulnerability. Okay, so basically, we click on that, and we see here a page that explains how we can do that. So basically, we download this file, compile it. I'm going to show you how to compile this. The compile the driver or the application or the exploit, and load the malicious driver. So this is the command, and we need the driver actually. The driver is now comes the choice of the driver actually. So let's list the drivers now and see which driver we'll take advantage of. So I'm going to use this PowerShell command to list the drivers. What do we have? Access denied. Fine. Okay, let's try this. Get Windows driver. Specify. Okay, this seems to work. Right, so get Windows driver dash all. Get Windows driver dash all, like that. No? If I write this online all, so we can't view the drivers, right? So that's why we can't know which driver can be used for this exploit or for this for abusing this privilege. So therefore, there is an exploit for that for a driver called Capcom. It's pretty famous. So capcom.sys exploit. And we have a page here that talks about this. This is a standalone exploit for a vulnerable feature in capcom.sys. The feature is exposed through IOCTL and to execute an arbitrary user-supplied function pointer with disabling SMEP. This exploit simply abuses the feature to perform token stealing to get the system privileges. Fine. So we need the driver now, capcom.sys, this one. So here we download this one. Download capcom.sys. Actually, I have it. You can download it from here, but I have it in my machine right here. So now, what we're going to do, all you have to do is to download this, git clone this one, both, right? No, not this one. The exploit Capcom, and also there was the, yes. So we have the EO payload driver, download this CPP file, and download this project as well. Where is it? Yes, this one. Inside this, once you downloaded this, go to exploit Capcom, and you will see here the file that needs to be compiled. Now let's hop in and view the how to compile this.
All right, so here we are in Visual Studio and we will compile the exploit Capcom and the driver loader, right? We have two project files to compile. I'm going to compile one and you will do the other one yourself. It's not rocket science. I guess it's going to be easy on you. Now, what you're going to do here, you will not create a new project. If you create a new project, it will error out, right? Click on or choose open a project or solution. Now from here, you select, you go to the path where you have downloaded the exploit and you choose the exploit project file, which is this one. You click on that. Okay, and now we have the code. Now all you have to do is to go down and you locate launch shell, which is the variable or the command that will be executed once the exploit once we execute the exploit on the remote host. All right, so here all we have to do is to change the name of the executable file to the name of the payload that you will generate using MSFN and transfer to the remote host. And here change the path. It's better to put the payload in the temp directory, right? And that's it. You hit on save and we hit build to check for mistakes or errors. Build again. Because I'm doing this again, I guess Yep, so it is already built actually on the left. Okay. After that, you specify the architecture and you hit on start debugging. And you will see the project files, the resultant executable file. Let me locate it. So basically here, uh, downloads, exploit Capcom master, exploit, x64, release, and this is the executable file. Take it, transfer it over, and launch it. So let's hop over to the attacking machine and launch the exploit.
Okay guys, so I transferred the exploit compiled files here, driver loader and exploit Capcom, generated a payload with fuse.exe with MSF Venom. Where is MSF Venom? Okay, so basically here, although I have showed for countless times how to generate a payload, but still I get questions how to generate a payload. So here we use MSF Venom, right? Put the Windows x64 architecture and lhost, lport, exe, and the name of the file. Simple. Then you have what you need: the Capcom driver, the application, the payload, and the exploit files. So basically, you hop over. Okay. So here, I changed my directory to Windows HP Universal Print Driver because it wasn't working for me at first from other paths or directories. Change here, and we download the exploit Capcom and the exploit driver from my machine. As you can see here, I launched the exploit driver according to the instructions. So here we launched the exploit loader first, specified the system registry and the driver. So here we launch like that, specify the name, and we put this. You can copy paste this, or you can change the name of the service. And here we specify the path which contains the driver. Right? We downloaded the driver from our machine to the temp directory. So we specify the path of the driver. And the way to know if it worked or not by looking at the win error. If it says 0, it means it worked. Now, this is the first step. The next step is to launch the other one, which is exploit Capcom. Exploit Capcom, we go back. Okay, so here we have it, right, in the HP Universal Print Driver location. We launch this. Once you launch it, like that, it says the system shell was launched, and you go back to Meterpreter, the listener, and you will see here you will receive the session, right? Get your ID, net authority system. Simple, easy, not so easy, but yeah, in terms of if you compare it to the actual real world challenges, it is easy, guys. Okay, so cheers, thank you so much, and see you in the next video.